Hi, today we are going to work on our new 5-finger exercise, number 3. This is also known as 2-note slurs. Now the 2-note slurs were introduced to us on page 54 of the Alfred's book. The piece was called Just a Second. As we see here, we are coming from C to D. This is a second, an ascending second, but there's a slur from the C to the D, D to E, E to F, F to G, and then of course with the left hand. 2-note slurs require a little bit of an explanation into hand technique. When we play a 2-note slur, we want to place our hand as though we're playing the 5-finger exercise number 1. We always lift the wrist and come back down, as in part D of the steps. It's as though we're playing 5-finger exercise number 1 in legato. However, there are only 2 notes that are part of the slur, not all 5, but only 2. So for the first note, we come down with the wrist, and then we play the next note either to the right or to the left while lifting the wrist. And as we lift the wrist, the finger releases the note. 1, 2. Another thing to keep in mind is when we play 2-note slurs, the first note is louder than the second. We also can call 2-note slurs a sigh, or a sigh slur. So, for the first note, when we come down with the wrist, we come up with the second. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Think about those 2 directions, down for the wrist on the first note and up for the second. Now there must be spaces in between the second note and the first note of the next 2-note slur. Okay? So the 2-note slur exercise goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like that. Remember, the first note must be louder than the second. It may seem as though the second note is shorter. It is not. It's simply softer, and we lift and release on the second with a noticeable space between that second note and then the first note of the next 2-note slur. Okay? Let's get a view from the side. Okay, so now we are on the side view on the piano, and when we play the 2-note slurs, we come down on the first note with our wrist and our hand, and when we come to the second note, our wrist and finger lifts, just like that. So down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Back down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Make sure both notes sound, the first note being louder than the second. One thing we may be tempted to do is to accent the first note in the 2-note slur and to staccato the second note. We don't want to do that. We simply want to keep them as regular quarter notes, only softer for the second, louder for the first. Practice this exercise one hand at a time Then, both hands together. Don't forget to count. After you have worked with the seconds, work on thirds. Good luck practicing this week.